The studies are in. The documentation is available.
Have you read the literature? Because it's there. It's published, it's printed, it's proven. It's no longer a question about it.
Here are just 3 of those studies. The British Medical Journal published a 10-year study which compared chiropractic care to medical care for low back problems. The study found that chiropractic treatment was significantly more effective than medical care. Results from chiropractic care were long-term, and that Great Britain would save millions of pounds annually if hospital low back patients were instead seen by doctors of chiropractic. Now let's look at a major Canadian report. The Ontario Ministry of Health financed an independent study on low back pain treatment. After reviewing scientific studies from around the world, the 1993 report concluded that chiropractic care is more effective, safer, and less costly than medical care. Injured workers return to work much sooner when treated by doctors of chiropractic, and that there would be a highly significant cost savings if low back pain cases were transferred to doctors of chiropractic. Now listen to what the Canadian report recommended. Chiropractic should be fully insured and fully integrated into the healthcare system. Chiropractic services should be encouraged and preferred for most patients with low back pain. And hospitals should extend privileges and employ doctors of chiropractic. The third study comes directly from the United States government. In December 1994, an agency of the United States Department of Health and Human Services took a firm position on what treatments work and what treatments don't work for acute low back pain in adults. The guidelines were produced after evaluating over 10,000 medical abstracts and studying nearly 4,000 scientific articles. The distinguished panel was composed of 2 representatives each from nursing, physical therapy, osteopathy, chiropractic, an occupational therapist, a consumer, 2 PhDs, and 11 medical doctors. Other than acetaminophen and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like aspirin, what treatment did the panel recommend for low back problems? That's right. Spinal manipulation, the exact type of treatment that doctors of chiropractic have been performing for 100 years. And finally, what was the only recommended treatment that could relieve symptoms, increase function, and hasten recovery? Right again, spinal manipulation or chiropractic adjustments. Of all healthcare professionals, doctors of chiropractic have the most extensive education in the field of spinal manipulation. A recent survey showed that doctors of chiropractic receive an average of 563 hours of training in manipulation, compared to 146 hours for osteopathic doctors, 0 hours for medical doctors, and 0 hours for physical therapists. It's no wonder that the chiropractic profession is acknowledged as the leader in this recommended form of treatment. That fact was even confirmed by the prestigious RAND Corporation, which reported that 94% of all spinal manipulation is performed by doctors of chiropractic.
Hi, I am Ty Smith from Natural Partners, and we are back here at the Parker Seminar, and I really have an honor for this interview. We are talking to Gilles Lamarche, Dr. Gilles Lamarche, who is the Vice President of Parker, the entire thing, right?
You got it.
Okay, so welcome.
Ty, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me here. And this is really a magnificent gathering that you've put together here.
Well, we're actually quite pleased. You know, we've got a great number of attendees. We're probably at about 4,000 attendees for this entire event. So
wow.
We're thrilled.
Wow.
We're offering a couple of new aspects to Parker Seminars. As you know, chiropractic is really founded on an art, a science, and a philosophy. And during years past, often people would say, well, you know, Parker is all about the art and the technique, but they don't really talk about science very much. So we've added a couple of scientific components, not only to the presentations, because we certainly have a lot of scientific presentations going on.
Yes, it's amazing. It's truly amazing.
But we're also launching, tomorrow evening, we're launching the Drugless Research Hall of Fame. Obviously, one of the issues that we recognize in chiropractic is that there is, you know, we have a lot of research, but there could be so much more research. And one of the issues around research, as you well know, is funding.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
we're launching the Drugless Research Hall of Fame, where we'll have our first inductee. Obviously, that's a surprise. Nobody's going to know but me.
Come on, you can't let anybody.
I can't tell you,
can't tell
especially
the
on
audience.
camera.
Okay.
Can't tell you who our first inductee is going to be. But that's going to be held tomorrow evening at the Parker Gala. This is a first. The gala is actually to raise money to continue to
I'm going.
do great research. And I know you're attending, so thank you very much for being willing to purchase a ticket.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you purchased an entire table. So Natural Partners is a sponsor of this first event, and I really want to thank you for that.
Yeah.
Also,
Our pleasure.
Also at the back of our expo hall this year, we actually have some poster presentations. Research that was done in 2008 that has been published and peer-reviewed are actually here available for attendees to go and read. So at the back of our expo hall, we now have a small section, maybe 1,000 or 1,200 square feet. It's actually dedicated to research, attempting to bring the research to our attendees. Rather than attendees trying to find the research, we're actually bringing research to our attendees. So we're pretty thrilled about that. And I think that as the art and the science and the philosophy bridge and really come together, it's how we believe that our chiropractors should be teaching the health and wellness message to their patients.
Well, let me ask you a question first. I just want to find, you say the Drugless Hall of Fame. That means that you're treating people in a non-drug fashion?
Drug-free, 100% drug-free.
Great.
Through chiropractic, through great nutrition, through some wonderful wellness coaching, through helping patients get on an exercise program. Because our philosophy is really that if you really truly want to be healthy in this day and age, with everything that's going on out there, you can't read all that stuff on your own. You really need to find a health coach. And some of the great health coaches in the world are chiropractors.
Absolutely. The chiropractic community is the second largest by number group of clients that we have, and our mission is to make sure that the public knows that the very best way to use the nutrition that we provide to the doctors is through doctors like yourself. So I would love you to tell our audience about how important it is not just to guess and go find some pills.
Absolutely. The worst thing to do is to guess and go find some pills and buy it off the shelf. I think if you understand the basis on which chiropractic was founded, it's founded on the fact that the nervous system controls every other system in the body, including the immune system. And even if you have a good functioning nervous system and your immune system is a little bit low, I mean, you might need some help.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, if you don't have a good diet, if you don't have good sleeping patterns, if you don't exercise on a regular basis,
which got me on that
so
one.
few people actually do, we know that you're going to have health issues. So why not learn to be proactive? And I think in the chiropractic profession, that's the message that we've attempted to teach since the inception of chiropractic, 1895. You know, we're young in the healthcare professions, but when you do the math, I mean, it's 114 years old. So it's not that we haven't been around a long time, but I think so often we have failed to teach the message that we live in. The body has a natural ability to heal itself, and sometimes needs a little bit of help. Sometimes from a chiropractor, sometimes from a chiropractor who can offer some great nutritional advice, or a nutritionist. But get information from a practitioner who knows what he or she is talking about. Because if you don't do that, it's sort of like shooting craps here in Las Vegas. Yeah, you might win, you might lose. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. So I strongly believe, like you do, that when we can build partnerships of professionals and develop these interprofessional collaborations, that the patients benefit, but the patients also have to want. Because health comes from within, but you've got to want to be healthy. You've got to be willing to do what it takes to be healthy. Because it's not just about longevity. We know that everybody's living longer. We know that in this society, you know, there's all sorts of statistics saying that there's a greater number of octogenarians than ever before in history. There will be more centenarians than anybody in history in the next any time in history in the next 10 years. But what quality of life will they have if they don't take a proactive approach to their own health? That could be an issue. Because
10 years on an oxygen machine might not be a lot of fun.
Not much of a quality of life. And so from my perspective is that if I was going to live 10 years on an oxygen machine, I'd probably rather transition and you know, go to the next phase. But if I'm going to live, and I know that if I make the right choices today, that it will positively impact my future to allow me to live healthy, why wouldn't I want to do that? And that's certainly the message that we try to share with, you know, all our patients.